All right, so assignment 2 follows naturally directly from assignment 1. It is not a report, it is a digital marketing implementation portfolio. So the assessment type here is a portfolio, which means that it's a collection of artifacts that you put together nicely formatted, not a text-heavy written report. It's due at 1 o'clock in week 13, also worth 30%. And so here we're looking at length, digital evidence, screenshots and hyperlinks in your portfolio. And then we have a few words of reflection in there. So between 500 and 1,000 words of reflection, depending on whether you work alone or in a group. You need video evidence of your industry relationship, and then finally you need a 3 to 5 minute video and or a Pecha Kucha presentation, depending on whether you work alone or in a group. So for assignment 2, you are required to implement your strategic digital marketing plan that you developed in assignment 1 and submit a pretty sexy formatted digital portfolio that showcase all the amazing things that you built during the semester. So the purpose is to demonstrate your capacity to execute a strategic digital marketing plan, although obviously at a very small scale. But you need to showcase how you do real life digital marketing and then reflect on the effectiveness and reflect on how you created value for your customers. You need to work closely with your SME or your mentor, and then also reflect on their feedback in your implementations. So let's look at the assessment criteria for assignment 2. So the first one there is the how, which sort of puts the assignment 1 upside down in a way. So obviously the how is that's the tactics, so that's the tactical implementations that you actually did. So how did you execute those? So we want to see evidence of the implementations that you executed. So if you, for example, build content on Instagram, then I would expect to see screenshots of the new content that you built, perhaps screenshots of before and after to showcase, assuming that it was an existing page, if that's the case. So you may want to showcase how things have changed and how you have improved things further, with evidence of customer engagement, if that was a goal that you had, and of course also with a direct link so that we can go to the real live resource as well. Perhaps also with a very short description of what you did. That should just be a few sentences that sort of clearly showcase what it was that you did there. And then you need to reflect on the why, the who, and the what. So the strategic position of your plan. So you need to reflect on the value that you've added. So reflection on the implementation. So how did things go in accordance to the strategic position that you had, and then what evidence can you bring that shows that you've actually created value for your customers. Excuse me. And then again as well, you need to demonstrate that you have continued this industry relationship with your partner. Again, that's just 3 minutes. So this is you and the mentor discussing at the end about the implementations that you've done. So the purpose is that you're confirming that you've had this working relationship. Again, it should clearly outline the name and contact detail of the business. If you post this on YouTube, you can just put that in the comment or the text section for where you post the video. That's fine. And the business mentor must, of course, also explicitly confirm that you have created this work that you planned and you carried it out, the work that you planned in assignment 1. And finally, you need an implementation visualization. So if you work alone, you do 2 implementations. So you pick one of them, and then I recommend pick the one that was the most complex one to build. So for example, if you set up a website from scratch, it can be hard to screenshot that and showcase that in a 2-dimensional portfolio. You may want to take advantage of the video or the presentation format to further unpack how you actually develop that particular implementation. So take the most complex one and then show in more detail in a video format, unpack what it is, how you did it. And then again, in here as well, clearly outline how did this implementation actually go according to the plan? Did you meet those objectives? So, in the what section, for example, you had an explicit statement about what does success look like. Was it successful? And you're not getting marked here based on how successful you were. This is not, how to become Insta-famous. That's not the nature of the course. It is about you demonstrating that you're learning something, right? So what I'm looking for is your sober reflection of how things went. If it didn't go to plan, then I would expect that you will then reflect on, the plan was too ambitious, but now you have this new knowledge, reflecting on as well the things that you learned from the course, activities that we did, readings from the course, reflecting on that, and then show what you learned from it in that video. Again, also focusing on how value was created for your customers. So the portfolio needs to include the following: brief overview of the implementation. So just very short description of how things were done. And if you work in a peer or a group, then I would also expect that you will have a list of who did what there. Hyperlinks it needs to have to each of your implementations. Screenshots, other visual elements. That's not part of the word count here. And then it needs a short reflection of each one of your implementation. So 250 words for each. That's why the word count is 500 for if you work alone, because there's 2 implementations. So a little text box in your portfolio that reflects on how did it go? How was it executed according to the plan? Did it meet objectives? Did it not? Why? With some references there that show that you learned something from this course, which is central. Video evidence of discussing your final implementations with the SME needs to be in there, and then it needs to have a hyperlink to the industry. It needs to have hyperlink to your implementation visualization video if you choose the video option. Or if you choose the Petra Kucha presentation option, it needs to have your PowerPoint slides, all of those 20 slides, as an appendix at the end. So, as I said, there's 2 options. So you can choose to do a Petra Kucha, then you will present in class in week 12. The great advantage of doing that is that you will get your mark on your presentation directly on the spot in class, and also some further feedback. So that's due in week 12, and the portfolio, the presentations will be in class in week 12, and the portfolio is due the following Tuesday in week 13. So you'll get some extra feedback, and it will help you then to implement that into your final portfolio. Petra Kucha, for those that are unfamiliar with the format, it is 20 slides, and the slide needs to change every 20 seconds automatically, which means that it needs to be well rehearsed. You can, of course, have some cue cards. I often use that myself when I do Petra Kuchas. Just some quick notes about what it is that you need to say. So as a rule of thumb, you can speak about 30-40 words, I think, in 20 seconds. That's what you need to say for each one of those slides. You should have very few words on the slides. Just images would be much better. And then so you deliver that Petra Kucha in class. If you work as a group, you have to do both the video and the Pecha Kucha. So groups of 3 needs to do both. If you work as a pair or alone, you can choose which option. So the video option is not a Pecha Kucha in video format. It is a different format. So if you choose to do the video, I expect that you will take more advantage of the audio visual elements that is available in a video format. So it's not just like this video that you're watching now is an instructional video. That's not the format here. So you need to take more advantage of creative elements and showcase how you built your implementation in more detail. You still must be seen in the video. It doesn't mean that it should be a talking head where your face is visible all the time, but you must be in the video and it must be your voice in that video. All right, so the method for submission here is first you review the feedback that you received from assignment 1, your strategic plan. So that will be given in week, or you'll get it back before week 8. And then you can attend the feedback feed forward workshop in week 8 to further discuss your implementation strategy. So that's a one-on-one feedback and feed forward. So ask your tutor about how they will run that session, but that's based on one-on-one feedback there in week 8. Take the feedback from your tutor back to the SME or the mentor, and then discuss finalizing your implementations with them. And then you build the resources, execute the plan, and then reflect on how things go according to the who, the what, the why, the who, and the what of your plan. Keep a dialogue with your SME or mentor, and then record the final meeting when you discuss sort of all the awesome things that you built, confirming that relationship there. Then you can craft your video and or your Pecha Kucha presentation showcasing one of your implementations, not everything that you did. Collect and format your portfolio evidence, submit and present. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is assignment 2.